Yes, dear students, please enable yourself. Show me your face.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Who is this? 6/2 2020? Norbu. Yes. So 1, 2, 3. Why Anish is not joining the class from past few weeks? Any idea? Anush, any idea? Anish is not joining the class?
Ashish, sir. Ashish.
Ashish. Okay. Why? What happened?
Don't know, sir.
No idea. Get idea. Okay. So Biksha, enable your video. So let us start the class. Okay. So till now we were learning about the basics, fundamentals of C++. For a change, I will show the program. I will explain the program. I will show the compiler today. I mean to say today I'll show you which compiler I'm using, and using this compiler, what all things you can do. Okay. Now, till now we have done about if else, all those things we have done. Assignment operator, arithmetic operator, and all we have done. One example of each I will show you with the program. So when I show the program, you will be able to understand how does the program work and how you have to understand the program, what all syntax you have to use. Shall I start? Show me the thumbs up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know computer science is always in the afternoon. No other class you have in the afternoon, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can understand. Just bear with me for some days. Then after some days, I'll tell coordinator to schedule at least 2 weeks in a month in the morning itself. Actually, morning I will be busy with my other classes, so I have preferred to take on afternoon. That's fine. So till now we have learned about the theory part, and still there are a lot of theory part to be learned. Okay, but today let us go inside and see the practical session of that. So the fundamental program, structure of the program we'll learn. Okay, are you there with me? Now I'll
Yes,
share
sir.
the screen. I'll share the screen. Complete screen only, I'll share it. Now at present, Anush, what can you see now? Anush, what can you see at present?
Windows, sir.
Windows, desktop, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, first thing is, which compiler you're going to use for C++ program. There are different number of compilers, Turbo C++, Dev D++, and all are there. So today I will take Dev D++ compiler, and then after installing that, I will open some programs and I'll explain one by one. So in this folder, PUC, see all the sessions, everything have kept it here. Session 4, see here. I think you are able to see this. Dev-CPP 5.11. This is a version I'm using right now. This is completely on GUI. GUI is graphical user interface, and DOS is CUI, character user interface. Okay. Now one by one I'll show you. I'll start installing the software. You also download this software from the internet. It is free of cost. Okay. I'll double click on this and click on yes. Please wait while setup is loading. Unpacking data is showing, and it is running with the percentage. Everybody please be attentive. Select the language. I select the language as English. English is a business language. So let us go for English. Bloodshed Dev C++ distributor under GNU general purpose license. Okay, I'll click on this next. These are the supported files required to run the program, language files, associated files, shortcuts, and all those things. I'll click on next, and I'll give the location as C drive, and you also do the same. Keep the software in C drive only, and it is installing now. Dev C++ 5.11. So keep it in mind, everybody. You have to install the same software so that it is easy for you to understand. Any queries, you can stop me and ask the doubts. Let us wait for 2 minutes. It will not, this software will not take much time to install. Okay, hardly it may take 1 or 2 minutes. Don't try to disable your video. I am watching all the 4. Okay, it is getting installed now. Almost done, 70% completed. Class started. Okay, now completing the Dev C++ 5.11 setup wizard. Now let me click on finish. Once I click on finish, you will be entering into the Dev C++ or Dev D C++ platform. Okay. Here, click on next, next. Okay. So this is the platform where we are going to type the program and we are going to run the program. Okay. This is the software I'm going to use for C++. See, different teachers use different platform to run the program. I feel this platform is very user friendly and you can easily understand, you can easily compile the program. Okay. Whereas one more compiler is there, Turbo C++, which has a background of blue color with font white. Okay. I will show you that also in the next class, but let us focus on this app only. This app is more user friendly. You can use this easily. Now I'll close this app. Okay. And I'll open session 4. One minute. Yeah. So today, see, already the program is being typed so that we will not waste much time. Arithmetic operator, assignment operator, for loop, if else, if, logical operator we have done in the previous class, nested if, relational operator, switch statement, while, and for. So first we'll start with arithmetic operator. I'll open this. As soon as I open this, you can see the program. So it looks like this. Now, can you tell me how many blocks are there in this program? Subiksha. How many blocks are there in this program? Any idea? Prabhanjan, Notbu, Lipika, Anush? No idea. Okay. See, first I will explain you how to operate this software. Okay. So in the beginning, I'll show you. In the beginning, this will be an empty sheet. This will be completely an empty sheet. This is the place where you will type the program. Okay. I'll paste again. Now, as I told you, whenever you start, you have to start with the header file. So ash include IOStream. Ash include IOStream will help you to accept information, that is input and output stream reader. Using namespace standard, You can use or you cannot use also, no issues. After that, after the header file is opened, okay, you have to open the main part of the program. So int main with open and close bracket. So here you can see here, this is the open flower bracket. This is a closed flower bracket. So it is understood that you have only one block. It is understood that you have only one block. Now, the question is, arithmetic operator is nothing but addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus, as I told you in the previous class. Today, I am going to explain with the example of the program. So, are you all attentive? Are you listening? Show me a thumbs up. Yes. See, one or two program you will find difficult to understand. As you go on doing the programs, it is just like a cake. Okay, it is easy for you to understand. Now, so arithmetic operator, to do that, you should have a variable. Okay, you should have two variables. So what I will do, I will take the data type as int, a as one variable and b as second variable. Why we are using like this? Because we have to initialize the variable with the data type. Initializing in the sense, in the beginning, you have to show that I am using alphabet A and B as a variable, and the variable is holding what? Data type. The data type is what? Int. Second step, you have to assign the value to the variable. Okay. Second step, what happens? A is equal to 7. So it is understood that the value of A is stored in 7 using the is equal to operator, that is assignment operator. Okay. Second one is B is equal to 7. So B is equal to 2. So value of B is 2. So keep it in mind, A is 7 and B is 2. Now let us do different kinds of operations in arithmetic. The first one is C out. Here I am not using anything like C, okay? Here only to print, okay? Not to accept anything, only to print, because already the value is been assigned here. The value is been assigned. So C out, here A plus B is equal to, A plus B is equal to, see, whatever you write it in the double quotes, whatever you write it in the double quotes, it is just a statement. As I told you, it is just a statement. And can you tell what operator is this? I have told you what operator this and what operator is this. Insertion and insertion and exertion. Okay. Now A plus B. So plus is the operator. We are doing with arithmetic operator. So what happens in arithmetic operator? First one is addition. A plus B. A plus B value is Prabhanjan. A plus B value is
A plus B.
Yeah, A plus B value is A. What is the value of A?
7. 9.
Yeah, who said that?
7 plus 2, 9.
7 plus 2, 9. So in the output
Prabhanjan.
terminal, what happens? A plus P is equal to will be printed as a statement. Then after is equal to 7 will be printed. Clear? Next one is subtraction. Again, A minus B is equal to. Again, it is in the double quotes. It is a statement. Okay? It is just a statement. So A minus B. So Norbu, what is the value of A minus B?
5.
Okay. Now next, Subiksha, A into B is equal to. A into B, the value of A into B?
7 into 2, 14.
14, correct. Now Lipika, who is that one more joined? Who is that? Show me your face. Enable your video, please. Enable your video. Okay, now Lipika, A modulus B. Okay, A modulus B is equal to, in the bracket A modulus B is there. What will be the answer?
1.
1. How it is? Can you explain me?
Remainder is 1.
2 3s are 6 and 1 is the remainder and returns 0. Okay, you have to write return 0 to return back to the main. So when you write this, this will directly invoke this main and return to the main statement. Now let us compile this. Okay, let us compile this. Now compile. Okay. One minute. Compiler is not working. Okay, now you can see compile. Okay, now see a compile result, error 0, warning 0. Output file name is Manjunath Naik PUC in that location, arithmetic operator.ex. Output size is something like this, compilation time 2.17 second. Now, so during the compilation, it will tell you whether the program has error or not. Okay, Norbo, enable your video. Now, next one is what? Run. Okay, next one is run. So I'll click on this button. So you can see the output here. This is the output of the program. A plus B is 9, A minus B is 5, A into B is 14, A divided by B is 3, and A modulus B is 1. So this is the output screen and this is the text area screen. Okay, so hope you have understood this arithmetic operator. Any doubts, you can text me now. Is it clear? Is it easy? Prabhanjan, did you understood with the program?
Yes, sir.
Subiksha?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Norbu?
Yes, sir.
Lipika?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, after this, I'll close this file again. I'll close this. Now, let us go to the next one, assignment operator. Hope so that arithmetic operator with the example of program you have understood. Let us go to the next one is assignment operator. I'll open this. So, assignment operator. Now, see properly here. Again, include IO stream. See, once what you use, the same can be used again and again. Okay. Once you finish your 4-5 programs, then it will be easy for you to type the program and get the output. Now, assignment operator is nothing but assigning a value to the variable. Okay. Now, as include IO stream, that is input output stream reader. Again, after that, int main. So, there should not be any interchange between this. Okay. After the header file or header file, you have to start with the main. Once you open main, you have to create a variable. Means what? You have to create an instance of a variable. Okay. Here also you are going to create the instance of a variable. But in the previous program, we had only 2 variables. But here we have 3 variables. Okay. Got it? So the third variable is temp. So temp is nothing but temporary variable. We call this temporary variable as a dummy variable. Why do we use temporary variable? I'll tell you. Now, A is equal to 2. So 2 is assigned to A, correct? Yes or no? Come on, answer.
Yes,
Yes,
Yes
sir.
or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now B is equal to 7. So 7 is been assigned to B. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now temp is equal to A. The value of A is assigned to temp. So temp will become 2. So here temp we have not assigned any value, but we have assigned value for A. A value was what? 2. So here I am using is
2.
equal to symbol. It means that right hand side and left hand side, whatever the value is there, it will share each other. Now A value we know that it is 2. Okay, when you use is equal to symbol, temp also will be 2 only. That is why we use this temporary variable. Okay, that is why we use this temporary variable. Temporary variable does not hold any value. It is just to accept the value from the other part. Okay, now see out. Okay, again insertion. Temp is equal to, I told you, whatever you write in the double quotes is a
Instance.
statement. Okay, no calculation will take place inside the double quotes. Then again temp. Okay, then end L. End L is nothing but coming to the end of the line. Okay, coming to the end of the line to go to the next line. Coming to the next line. Now assigning sum of A to B and A and B to, now A plus E is equal to B. A plus is equal to B. I have told you in the previous class, I have told you A plus B is equal to B means what? A is equal to A plus B. Do you remember the slide which I showed you and told? In the assignment operator, I have told you. Okay. A plus B is equal to A plus is equal to B is nothing but A is equal to A plus B. So A is equal to A. A is equal to A. A value is what? 2 and
2.
B value is what? 7.
7.
7 plus 2 is 9. 9 will be stored in this A. Okay. So A is equal to, what is the value? What is the value? A is equal to
9.
9. End line and returns to 0 to the main. Okay.
9.
So here we are assigning a value to the variable. So assigning the value, we use is equal to symbol. Now I'll compile this. When I compile this, no error, warning also nothing is there. Then what happens? I will run the program. Compiling is nothing but translating the high level language code into machine language. Other way you can say it as compiling is nothing but converting the source code into machine code. Okay, compiling the source code into machine code. High level language into machine language. High level language consists of alphabets, numbers and symbols. Whereas machine language will not have alphabets, numbers and symbols. It will have only one thing, that is based to binary number, that is 0 and 1. And I have explained you how that conversion takes place also. Yes or no? When I ask yes or no, I need to get the answer. So Bhiksha, did I explain you the mechanism of binary code? Okay, now let us see the output. Okay, now let us see the output. Our compilation is over. Now let us click on run. So you can see a temp is equal to 2 and A is equal to 9. Temp, in the beginning we didn't assign any value. Instead of that, what we did, temp is equal to A we wrote. So temp is equal to A is what? Is equal to we are using, so the left hand side also the value or the right hand side value will be the same. Second one was, you can see here A plus is equal to B. It is nothing but A is equal to A plus B. So A value was 2 and B value was 7. Altogether, when you did the calculation, it became 9. So the 9 was stored in this A. Okay, the 9 was stored in this A. So A is equal to So A is equal to what? A is equal to, when you see this one, okay, A is equal to 9. This is about assignment operator. You have any doubts on this? Please ask me the doubts, then we'll continue to the next program. Lipika, you have any doubts on assignment operator?
No, sir.
Prabhanjan?
No, sir.
Norbu?
No, sir.
Subiksha? Subiksha? Subiksha is still not moving a bit also. Is it a photo or she is only sitting in the class? Subiksha? Anyway, let us go to the next topic, that is for loop. I have not started, so we'll start with if. Okay, we'll start with if, because if else, if ladder, all those things are there. First, we'll start with if. If means what? Only one condition. I have told you, if means what? Only one condition. So here, again, include iostream.h. Okay, include iostream.h. Using name space standard, again int main, int number. So int number means what? We are initializing the number. So here you can see cin also. Okay, here you can see cin also. Here you can see cin also. First one is cout. Cout is what? To print. What to print on the output screen? Enter an integer. Enter an integer should be printed on the output screen. After printing enter an integer, next line you have to enter a number. Now here what we are doing is we are checking whether the number which you have inputted is positive or not. Positive is positive. Okay. Now check if the number is positive. The condition is if number is greater than 0. So whatever you give the number is greater than 0, it is understood that that is a positive number. Okay. If it is positive number, what has to be printed as an answer? What has to be printed as an output? So cout will help you to print, that is you entered a positive number. Okay. That is the number. The number, this is the number. This will automatically invoke the variable. This will automatically invoke the variable. Okay. And this number will invoke the here to check whether the number is greater than 0 or not. Then if it is correct, cout, this statement is always executed. Or else what you can do is, whatever you want, you can write. This is a right answer. Okay. Now again returns to 0. This returns will do what? This will directly invoke to the main. You understand the flow chart of this. This number will invoke here. This number will invoke here, and returns to 0 will invoke the main. Norbo sits right. Okay. Now I'll compile this program. There is no error in this program. You can see error is equal to 0. Warning is equal to 0. Now let us see the output. Let us see the output here. I'll run the program. Okay. If you see here, enter an integer. So here you can see this one is working. At the beginning, this one is working. Okay. Enter an integer. This is working. The next one is cin. Cin is to accept the information. Cout is to display the information. Correct? Keep it in mind. Cin is to accept the information. Cin is to display the information. Now enter an integer is there. Now it has to accept the information or the data. Accept the information or the data. So let us take it as 5. Okay. So I'm taking 5. Means what? Is it a positive number or negative number? Lipika.
Positive.
Yes. Now, so the condition is satisfying. Means what? Means what here? 5 is greater than 0. Correct? So 5 is greater than 0. So once I press enter, what should be the answer now? So Bhiksha, what should be the answer? Anish? Anush? Norbo, what will be the answer for this? Anush, somebody answer to this question.
5, sir.
What is the answer for this? Enter an integer, we inputted the number, that is 5. What will be the output of this program? Subiksha, Prabhanjan?
0.
What? No. Prabhanjan, Lipika, Subiksha, Norbu, Anush?
5, sir.
No. You're not understanding the problem. The answer is enter. You have entered positive number 5. You have to tell the complete sentence here. You have entered positive number which is in the double quotes with colon, will print as it is. And this number is going to invoke here. This number is going to invoke here, and that number will be printed as 5. And at the end, I wrote, this is the right answer. The same thing, this is the right answer, will print. You have any queries on this program? Tell me now. Do you have any queries? Lipika, any doubts?
No, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Prabhanjan?
So not clear.
Not clear. So
From
Bhiksha?
C out, C.
Okay. Now I'll tell you one more time. Now, see here. See out. You have seen the output now. You should keep it in mind. How does output look now? In the output, the first printing was enter an integer. Okay. Okay. That is the display part. Now, after displaying, you have to accept the number. You have to take one number. So to take one number, we use this. C in is to accept. I'm telling you, C in is to accept. The number what I have inputted in the output was 5. So this number or this syntax will help you to accept number 5. Okay, after that, you have to check the condition. Here you have only one condition, that is if the number what you inputted is greater than 0, then it has to print and you entered an positive integer.
Positive.
Okay, you don't have second condition. In if you'll have only one condition. Okay, and then see out, this is the right answer. Now we give 5 as a number. Okay, 5 as a number, and the number is positive number, and then the next one is to print the you have entered the integer that is 5.
5.
Again compile, check any error is there, then run. Here enter an integer, I'll put 5 and press enter. You have entered positive number. Means what here? You should understand, if we'll have only one condition, here in this program, there is no two condition or more than one condition. In the next program, I'll tell you how does the second condition will come. Means what here? Now, Subiksha, tell me how many blocks are there in this program? Make it fast.
Blocks.
How much?
2 blocks.
Exactly. The first block always starts with the int main and close the block at the end. And the middle, we have only one condition. For that only one condition. So here we will open one more block here. In case you have two conditions, you have to open one more block. That is the second block. Okay. Now I'll clear all the drawings here and I'll close this one. If is or, if will have only one condition. Now if else, sorry, let us go to if else. Now you can see one more block is increased. I think now it's clear for you, positive number and negative number. Again, I'll take the symbol, again include IO stream, that is input output stream. And again, you'll start with the main program. Okay, open with the main and number. Number here we'll take it as minus 10. So if I take minus 10, what should be the output, Prabhanjan?
Negative integer minus 10.
You have entered a negative number,
Sir,
minus 10.
Negative
correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now again, enter an integer. This will print on the output screen. Then this will help you to accept the number, that is minus 10. Clear? Now the condition, if number is greater than or equal to 0, if this condition is satisfying, then this block should print. If this condition is satisfying, this block should print. Else is what? You have one more condition. Okay, here you keep it in mind. If we'll have only one condition, wherever you see the program, if means one condition, there is no second condition. Whereas in if else, you'll have two conditions. In if else, if you'll have more than two conditions. Okay, now we are discussing about if else. Now if this is not satisfying, else means what? Innondu condition ide, one more condition is there. Again, see out. What should be printed? You entered a negative number. So this line is always printed. You can change it to anything. I'll type it as thank YOU. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, enough. Now, first block is executing or second block is executing Lipika. Lipika, first block is executing or second block is executing?
Second one.
Yeah. So let us compile the program once and see. Okay. I'll clear the drawings, symbols, all those things. Now, compile. So there is no error here in this program. Okay. And no warning. So warning, I'll tell you when it encounters. Okay. Now after this, I have to click on run. Okay. I have to click on run. Click on this, enter an integer. So what was the number we took in this program as an example? Minus 10. So as soon as it compiles and checks the
Minus
number,
10.
minus 10,
Minus
it should
10.
go to the second block
10.
and it should print you entered a negative number colon minus 10. Okay. This is the right answer. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. The next, I think this is enough for here. Next, we'll go for nested if. I told you, if is a single condition, if else is more than one condition. Nested if is what? In if you are using one more if, I'll show you. So if is there, again else if, then else. Okay. Now, include IO stream. Include IO stream. Again, open the main number. This is to initialize the variable. Okay. Enter an integer and the number. If the number is greater than 0, it has to be printed as you entered a positive number with that number. Else if number is less than 0. Less than 0 is negative. If you input less than 0, then it should show negative. Else you have entered 0. Okay. All three we will try now. There are 3 conditions available here. Okay. So there are three blocks. Keep it in mind. 3 conditions will have 3 blocks. Now compile and then run. So first condition will go with the positive number. Okay. First condition will go with the positive number. I'll type it as 5. Enter. You have entered the positive number. So the first block is executing. Other 2 blocks will terminate. Clear? Again, I'll close this. Again, I'll run this. Enter the digit. We'll write -5. -5 will execute which block? Second block or third block? Norbo. -5 will execute second block or third block? Norbo. Norbo. -5 will execute first block or second block or third block? Subiksha, can you answer to this?
So second block.
Yes. Now press enter. You entered a negative integer -5. Okay. Now let us go and see the third block. I'll input 0. You entered 0. Okay. You entered 0. So when you enter 0, the third block will execute. When you enter greater than 0, first block will execute. When you enter less than 0, second block will execute. Here you have 3 conditions. Clear? Any doubts in this section? You can approach me now, or you want to share your doubts in the chat box. I welcome you all for that. Shall I close this program?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Be proactive. Okay. Next, we'll go for relational operator. I think I have done relational operator. So I'll do this and stop the session. The last topic, I'll take it as relational operator. Click this. Here, I'll tell you one thing that I will tell you afterwards, sir. I am not going according to the textbook, okay? I'm not going page wise, 163, 164, 165, 166, not like that. I'm going with the flow of the C++ structure. Now, this is relational operator. Okay, in the example, in the structure I've shown you. Now, again, hash include IOStream, int main. So, repeatedly I'm using the same, correct? Include IOStream and main I'm using same. Here, to check 2 operand. So, Subiksha was asking last class, what is operand? Right hand side, 1 operand, left hand side, 1 operand. Right hand side, 1 variable is operand. Left hand side, 1 variable is operand. Now, I have to initialize the variable first. When you are using the variable, you have to initialize the variable. Means you have to show that you are using these 2 variables. Then you have to assign a value. Okay. Then you have to assign a value in a comma b. Now I have initialized the variable using the data type int. Now I'm assigning the value for the variable. A is equal to 3. Means what? 3 is stored in A. 5 is equal to B, or B is equal to 5. So 5 is stored in B. Bool result. Why do we use bool result? Now you tell me. Here, why you are using bool result? Anybody?
Identify it's false or true.
Exactly. See here in the previous one, we were checking the condition, whether the first condition is true, means whether first condition is positive or negative, or the third one is correct or not. But here, bool is nothing but checking the condition whether it is true or false. Now, result is equal to A is equal to B. Okay, A is what? 3, B is what? 5. automatically it holds false. So 3 is equal to 5. Result here it should print false. Now A not is equal to B. I told you if it is true, it will make it false. If it is false, it will make you true. Vice versa, ulta. Okay. Now 3 not is equal to 5. So if you remove this not, it is false. If you use this not, then it is true. False, it will show you as true, and true, it will show you as false. The next condition of relational operator, A is greater than B. So 3 is greater than B? No. 3 is not greater than B, so it should print false in this place. A is less than B. So 3 is less than B. In this place, it should be placed as true. Now, A is greater than or equal to B. Again, 3 is not greater than or equal to 5. So it is false. A is less than or equal to 5. Again, yes, the condition is true. 3 is less than or equal to 5. So answer should be printed as true and returns this one, and this will invoke directly to the main. Okay, this will invoke directly to the main. Any doubts on this program? Shall we see the output? First, we'll compile the program to check whether any error is there or not. Click this. So compilation completed. Error 0, warning 0. Means what? The program has got no errors. Next one is run. When you click run, you can see clearly here. 3 is equal to 5 is 0. I told you 0 is what? False. 1 is true. Because here computer cannot use high level language. Okay. True is high level language. TRUE is an alphabet. It cannot take high level language. So it has to convert to binary number. So binary number, we have kept 0 as false and 1 as true. Now here 3 not is equal to 5 is 1. 1 is true. 3 is greater than 5 is false. 3 is less than 5, it is true. 3 is greater than or equal to 5 is 0. False. 3 is less than or equal to 5 is true. 1. This is how the relational operator works. Is it clear? Show me a thumbs up. Is it clear? Okay, now I'll close this. So today we have discussed about arithmetic operator, assignment operator, if else, nested if, and relational operator. Logical operator we didn't do. Okay, we'll do it in the next class. Afterwards, in the next class, we will take up the iteration part also. Iteration part has got 3 things, that is for, while, and do while. Hope so that today's session was clear for you. In the previous class, I told you with the theory part. Today, the same theory part I have explained with the program. Okay. Now I'll stop sharing the screen now. Now it's time for me to ask you the give me your valuable feedback and exit yourself. Thank you so much for being patient, not disabling the video and all. Ashish Sharif is there, but he's not showing his face. Tell him to contact me, anybody, okay? Now you can type your feedback of today's class, okay? And you can exit yourself. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for your valuable feedback. You can type your feedback in your chat box, quick. Waiting for your answers. Waiting for your valuable, genuine answers. If you are not understood, well, fine, no issues. You can tell me directly so that I will explain you again and again. Subiksha says the concept was interesting and I understood, sir. Thank you. Anush, it was good, sir. Prabhanjan nested if understood well, sir. Thank you. Lipika, very good. Ashish says I have some problem with the Zoom. Very bad. But I understood, sir. That R2 extra R means what? You are in angry, huh? Sir, sir, like that. Good to hear valuable feedbacks. Okay. I understood, sir. Not like that, sir. Okay, fine. Not an issue. Thank you so much. It's time for me to say bye. See you till next week. Take care. Bye-bye. Miss you all. Stay safe. Be away from Corona. Bye for now. I am ending the live class. Do you have anything to say? You can say now. Anush, you have anything to say?
No, sir.
Norbo?
Yesterday Anush's birthday, sir.
Oh, Anush birthday. Belated birthday wishes. Thank you, Prabhanjan. Belated birthday wishes. Anush, where is the chocolate? At least in the group, somebody should have told me, no? Okay. This boy is busy drinking
Coffee.
Thank you, sir.
coffee. Are you drinking coffee only, man? Norbo, unmute yourself. What was that? Show me in the cup. What was that? Is it coffee or tea or milk or colored milk or colored glass, colored juice? Anyway, Norbo, unmute yourself and speak, no? Okay. Subiksha, show me your face and you have anything to say?
No, sir, nothing.
Okay, thank you. Lipika? Lipika, I didn't hear you.
No doubt, sir. Nothing to say.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Prabhanjan?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. See you in the next week. Till then, bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Bye. Thank you so much. Today I was really happy because you were on time. Hardly 2-3 minutes we lost. The rest all we have utilized properly. Thank you so much. Be on time every time. That is a very good gesture. Okay. Regularly, irregular is very bad. Okay. So you be regular in all regular times. Bye for now.